No one expected this. Here's why the YouTube shooting disappeared from headlines. Has everyone noticed how this week's YouTube shooting has magically disappeared from the headlines? While the Parkland school shooting is still front page news 2 months later? Here are the reasons. The shooter wasn't a white male. In fact, it was a woman who was a peaceful vegan, who even fought for animal rights and supported PETA. This goes totally against everything the left-stream media has told us about mass shootings. She wasn't a man in his early 20s who embraced the American gun culture. The shooter used a 9mm handgun, not a big bad mean-looking black AR-15 which the media can lie about. And a 9mm handgun is something that's practically impossible to ban because it's not part of the assault rifle narrative, although it can do just about as much damage as an Armalite rifle. The shooting happened in the loony state of California, where they have the strictest gun control of all 50 states unless you're an illegal alien shooting at sea lions. In fact, starting next year every gun owner in California will have to pay the state $50 a year to get a special license to purchase ammo, even 22 LR. And that ammo will be serialized and tracked to the person buying it. So the state will know how much ammo you buy. Authorities, just like in the Parkland shooting, were warned, but they failed to protect the citizens. Yes, the father of the shooter notified police that his daughter was going to do something like this to YouTube. Police found her and let her go because they deemed her to not be a threat. And the left keeps telling us we don't need guns because the police are there to protect us. The shooter developed a hatred towards YouTube, which is owned by Google, because they were censoring her videos. This is something the liberal media chooses to ignore, considering it doesn't affect them, but it does affect almost every publisher on the right. And that includes gun content, even if it's just instructional on how to safely load and reload a firearm, even a shotgun, which former Vice President Joe Biden said was enough for all your security needs. Here is more on social media censorship via Paste magazine. Take Twitter, for example. The online social networking service is often criticized for not protecting its users and allowing pretty much anything on its platform. Because it does allow anything on its platform, and that's part of why people love it so much. Twitter is also kind of like a filing cabinet that records and preserves our digital history for us. You can go to Twitter, search a hashtag and find photos, articles and all the opinions you could ever want to hear on a particular moment from recent history. That's pretty cool, when you think about it. But what's not cool is finding tweets that you never saw, tweets that seemingly disappeared even though the 140 characters were typed. Twitter has been caught removing tweets, hiding tweets and deleting trending hashtags. Such accusations have opened the doors to how such a prominent platform, which sources the news for over half the population, gets away with censorship before our very eyes. It was just a few months ago that Twitter was accused of censoring tweets under hashtag leak during the WikiLeaks email debacle. In this particular scenario, conservative Twitter users accused the platform of removing the hashtag from the trending bar, despite it displaying an estimated 250,000 tweets about the leaked employee emails from the Democratic National Committee. On the other side of the political spectrum, of course, is the whole Milo Yiannopoulos situation, which involves permanent censorship in the form of banning. Another accusation comes from Trump supporters, which say the social platform concealed his tweets asking for campaign donations. But is this censorship? Or is it just the work of a flawed algorithm? Twitter, like other social platforms, works off an automated algorithm that determines what appears in your news feed and when. The information that shows up is based on an analysis of whom you interact with and what kind of tweets the algorithm thinks you will be more interested in seeing. In some cases, you might not see a person's tweets in your timeline because of the algorithm. Then, when you go to that person's Twitter profile, there will be a slew of tweets you never saw. It could be as innocent as an algorithm only pushing certain tweets to the front of your feed, but that very fact shows the kind of power Twitter has. If their algorithm can control what you see and when, who's to say that it can't be told to flag a particular tag or keyword and stop tweets containing that language from being noticed? Facebook is for friends and family. and whatever Mark Zuckerberg wants you to see. I recently wrote about how Facebook's trending platform is seriously flawed. But Facebook, in general, when it comes to content curating, is incredibly defective. Let's say you want to post something on Facebook, but you're not sure whether or not it's considered controversial. Facebook has a list of things it prohibits on its platform, including, but not limited to, nudity, hate speech, fake profiles and spam. If you see someone post something on Facebook that you think breaks these rules, you can report it, and then Facebook will remove it. But what about when Facebook itself catches you breaking its rules or posting something it doesn't like? You'll get a warning that what you're posting isn't allowed, usually followed by a suspension from your account for a set amount of time. Anyone else feel like they're in kindergarten again? A few weeks ago, Facebook was in hot water for removing and suspending the account of Espen Johansen, CEO and editor-in-chief of Norway-based publication, Aftenposten_. Hansen posted the iconic Napalm Girl image by Nick Hutt, which was a violation of Facebook's community guidelines since the image contains a naked child. Not only did Facebook delete the post, but it also deleted the article Hagen penned in response, in which he accused the company of censorship. Though Facebook ultimately backed down, apologized and ceased censoring the photo, the incident is one of many censorship concerns for the social platform. The trending module, for example, operates off the sense of an algorithm and a few real humans. Meaning that, not only does the algorithm still make mistakes, but also there's room for a biased employee to determine what they think should be trending and what shouldn't. A report conducted by Online Censorship, a platform what documents social media censorship from user-generated data, found that Facebook is censoring us the most compared to other social channels. RIP the spirit of social media. Unfortunately, since these private companies set the rules of their platforms and we blindly sign up for them, they technically aren't doing anything illegal. But, that's also because social media is still so new and we haven't, until now, realized how these platforms impact our right to freedom of speech. You don't have to have an account on a social channel if you don't want to, but if you choose to, then you have to play by the rules. If you're not happy with how one of these platforms operates, you can just delete your account and move on with your life, right? But before you do so, consider what that action would mean. It would mean that you're aware of the control a social media company has, that you don't like it, but that instead of doing anything about it, you're just going to turn your back and walk away. If we all just did that, we'd win though, right? Remember, more than half our population gets our information from Facebook and Twitter. I don't think it's as easy as saying everyone just stop using Facebook, but I also don't think it's as easy as telling companies they can't filter our tweets and that everyone and anyone should just be able to do whatever they want on the internet. Instead, we should push to ask companies to be more transparent about how they determine to censor users' content. If your posts are censored online, report it and ask why. Submit an appeal and get an explanation from the site instead of just clicking OK and waiting for your timeout to be over. The more we all start to do this, the more we can bring about awareness and change for how private companies regulate speech. And then maybe, just maybe, social media will start to be fun again.